Richards has got the orange singlet with the red stripe. His opponent from the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, that's Spencer Lee. 57 kilograms, number 1 and number 4 seed. Zane Richards, Carbondale, Illinois. Carbondale Community High School. Attended University of Illinois, where he was a 2-time All-American for the Fighting Illini. 4 times Zane Richards a Fargo champion, and 8 times an All-American. Last year was our representative for Team USA in Belgrade, Serbia. His opponent right in on the attack. 4-2 on the exposure. 2 more on the exposure. That is Spencer Lee from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, Franklin Regional High School, where he was a 3-time NCAA champion, 4-time All-American for the University of Iowa, 4 times age group world team member, 2-time world champion in our juniors or U20 division, and a 1-time cadet or U17 world champion. He made 2 U17 teams. And a challenge by the red corner, Illinois RTC, saying there was no exposure as Spencer Lee hit a really hard high crotch on the finish. The exposure was there. Hit it a second time for exposure, where they gave 2 sets of 2 exposure points and a 4-0 lead for Lee. You know, I think Coach Medlin down there in Illinois is saying there was only 1 takedown, but I don't think they ever gave a takedown. I think they went 2 exposures, as there was never full control. Also close to exposure by Zane Richards. If we watch the exchange here, and you can't see it on your screen at home, but Spencer Lee with a hard shot and went to exposure. It was his attack. He initiated the attack. There was never a change in direction as Spencer Lee postured up in the high crotch position, down low on the ankle. So score changes. Challenge is won there. As they said, there was no exposure on the first attack because his hands were locked. Spencer Lee right back into the attack, and 2 points on the takedown. Now 4-0. As Spencer Lee, when he's on the attack, is as good as anyone in the world. And someone's going to have to be with the 2-point leg lace. A 6-0 lead for Spencer Lee. Like I said, somebody's going to have to be great and as good as anybody in the world to qualify the weight, as whoever wins this weight class and becomes a part of Team USA is going to have to place in the top 3 at the last chance qualifier in Turkey in a few weeks. But Lee, again, goes up 6-0 this morning in his quarterfinal match. Lee went out to an 8-0 lead and then stayed in good position and wasn't able to score anymore. But those first 3 attacks from Spencer Lee were absolutely a thing of beauty. And I feel like sometimes if Lee just continued to attack, Tex would come a lot faster. We also know that Spencer Lee is an absolute animal in parterre with his leg laces. I like his pace right now. Zane Richards, your number 1 seed again, returning. World team member for Team USA. Was not able to make it to the final of the Pan Am Olympic qualifier, where he was defeated by Darian Cruz of Puerto Rico, formerly NCAA champion for the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh University. not only are Spencer Lee's shots beautiful, but also when he goes to his arm drags and his elbow passes and then goes in that really deep high crotch. There's not a whole lot prettier than that with 30 seconds to go. An 8-0 lead and hard gut wrench. Defended well by Zane Richards. 8-0 lead with 15 seconds to go. And we're going back on our feet.
And 4 more confirmed.
Back in deep. No points as we were in a quad pod. Knee never went down, so 8-0. We go to period number 2. You heard the official saying time before the action, but they did give a 1-point step out, making it 9-0. Zane Richards, 30 years old. Spencer Lee, 25 years old. And we go back to the center after the 30-second break. 9-0 for Spencer Lee, Hawkeye Wrestling Club. Spencer Lee did compete in the Pan Am Championships, winning the championship the week before the Olympic qualifications. Zane Richards had earned the right to be our representative for the Olympic qualifier as he was our world team member. So our official in the middle calls that 2 Lee, but then it is now 2 points for Lee, 1 point for Richards, so 11-2. We went 2-2 on that sequence, so 2 points initiated by Richards. Nice throw by attack, split by Spencer Lee. Back in deep for 2 is Zane Richards. 11-4. Lee putting the brakes on a little bit out here. That's now 11-4. The coaches from Mike Poeta out there screaming for Zane Richards to pick up that pace.
And 4 confirmed for Velty on that one. She now leads 4-2.
And we get back to the center, 11-4 for Spencer Lee. Let's see if he starts to pick up his pace here. Again, both of these Titan Mercury athletes, Illinois and Illini Wrestling Club for Zane Richards, Hawkeye Wrestling Club for Spencer Lee. In that funky kind of body lock cradle position. The flexibility of Spencer Lee is something pretty spectacular as he was sitting flat in a full split. Richards not able to get behind for a 2-point takedown. The pace changed now in this second period as Zane Richards again gets in deep on a shot, but Spencer Lee able to turn the corner, trying to get his hips up on top. Richards still holding on to that leg, so no. Now 2 points on the control, making it 13-4. 13-4 with under a minute to go here. Richards and Spencer Lee.
And 6-4 lead for Page at the break on 1.
Official asking to wipe some of the sweat and blood off the mat as we plug the nose of Zane Richards For so many years, Spencer Lee has just been known as the biggest hammer in the United States. Had some injuries during the summertime, and not able to qualify or compete in world team trials. Now has healed up. High crotch position. Trying to get his head underneath the knee of Richards. Hold on tight. Now, Spencer Lee getting height. Holding on to the leg. Scrambling. And white paddled. We're going back up to our feet. With 27 seconds to go here. Looking for a spot in the Challenge Tournament final. Now again, nobody waiting for these athletes. So the winner of this match will move to the best of 3 series tomorrow. 2 more on the board for Zane Richards, making it 13-6 with short time. So we won't wrestle the final of the Challenge Tournament tonight. That'll be tomorrow. And moving to that final tomorrow in the best of 3, looking for a spot on the Olympic team and a chance to move to Turkey to qualify the weight. Your winner, 13-6, Spencer Lee.